exciting episode of Vegas Views. This is Dawn Sullivan. Today we are no longer with Danny Miner for the day, but I have two fantastic guests that I'm so excited for you guys to meet. I have Taurus Ingram and Chanel J. Guys, if you're just tuning in right now, I have two guests today. Now, just how are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. I'm good. Thank you for asking. Taurus, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Oh, my name is Taurus Ingram. I'm 25 years old. Born and raised in Nassau, Bahamas. Been residing in Las Vegas for about 2 years now. Been modeling and acting off and on since 2018, but I've been back in the industry thanks to Miss Dawn Sullivan and Rise Talent Management since fall of last year.
You're so cute. He's so cute. I asked him one question, and he went on and on and on. You pretty much, okay, the show's over. He tells us the whole story. Okay, I'm just kidding, Taurus. So you're 25 years old.
Yes,
You come from Nassau, Bahamas?
yes, ma'am.
Okay. So tell me the difference between Bahamas and Las Vegas.
Actually, they're a lot alike, more alike than what people would think. The Bahamas is very tourist-based, just like Las Vegas. There's a lot of entertainment. They're kind of like Vegas. A lot of sightseeing, and the beauty about it is you see a lot more people that aren't locals walking around compared to other places in the U.S. and around the world. You see more natives in other places than the Bahamas. You see a lot of people that aren't from the Bahamas walking amongst everybody. So they're kind of the same. So that's what kind of drew me to Vegas, because it had that feel of home.
Okay, are there a lot of people in the Bahamas that live in the Bahamas that are from the U.S.?
For the most part, yes. Our population is at about 400,000 right now in our entire country. So
The
it's
entire country is
yes.
400,000 people.
So it's smaller than Vegas, but we do have a lot of people that have dual citizenship and became citizens in our country, from China, America, all over Europe, especially Great Britain, and things of that nature. So it's a very diverse country.
That is fantastic. So let me ask you, to vacation there, I've been absolutely beautiful, love it. Safe place for the most part in the vacation areas. Outside the vacation areas, how safe is it for someone?
It's a work in progress, just like any country, especially any second world country. There's a lot of things that they're fixing and they're working on. So I definitely think they're trying to make it a safe place, not just for tourists, but for Bahamian locals as well. And one thing about our community and just our culture, we are very family oriented, so we definitely look out for each other. And when I say family, I'm just not meaning blood, just our own Bahamian people. We definitely look after each other, we support each other. And that's just one thing about the Bahamas that I've always loved.
I actually see that in you. There are some Bohemians here in Las Vegas that you are friendly with, and we've discovered you actually have a cousin. It's just like related, very cool story. But there are a couple of them, and you guys are family together, and I noticed that about you. And the funny thing is, your mannerisms and behaviors are the same, extremely respectful, like very, very interesting. So let me tell you, my experience with the Bahamas was just perfect, just beautiful and wonderful. Let me ask, on the opposite side of that and the crime, being that there's only 400,000 people, you kind of must not know everyone, but everyone kind of knows everyone
Yes,
through everyone.
absolutely. Yeah, it's definitely a very small world and small island per se. From my being the capital of Nassau, everybody knows everybody in some capacity.
Okay.
So you know somebody that knows somebody that knows their cousin that knows
Right.
where to go to
Because
church.
even here in Las Vegas,
It's like that
there's
as well.
how many do we have here? 35. How many do we have? 3.5 million here in Vegas. I think that's it. There are about 3.5 million. And I'm not kidding. When I go someplace, I know a lot of people in Las Vegas. I'm like, who's that? Who's that? Who's that? And I know. We were just out the other night, and I knew people that I didn't know that I knew, and that's in a place of 3.5 million.
Absolutely.
So now let me ask you, when there's crime happening, are there specific groups there in Bahamas, gangs, or specific groups you know to stay away from when it comes to crime?
They're not really out in the open. It's definitely, if you're from there, you know that they're there. But if you're just visiting, one, they won't be anywhere near the tourism areas, things of that nature. But it's the same as anywhere else.
Okay.
Same.
And what kind of crimes?
Again, same things as
So
anywhere.
they have robberies, they have
Yep.
homicides, they have
And the
crimes of passion.
yes, and the thing about the Bahamas, and me being from there, so it's a different perspective. So it's more so from the inside looking in instead of the outside looking in. Because our population is so small, the number is amplified when things happen compared to a place where it's 3.5 million. It's like, okay, this has happened X amount of times, and that percentage is small. With my country being so small,
Yeah.
the percentage is a lot higher. So you think it's actually a graver incident than what it actually is. But again, it's something that
It's exactly. It depends on the amount of people. Being from New York originally, with I think we're at 10 million people in all of the boroughs. Are we at like 10 million?
19.
That's right. We did Google it. You and I did Google this. Yeah, Chanel and I did Google this once. 19, and that's all the boroughs plus Long Island.
Yep.
Okay. 19 million people. That's a lot of people. So when you hear stuff that goes on in New York, it's like, ooh, this happens, ooh, that happens, and then it's over, and it's like another statistic. But I'm sure in the Bahamas, something happens, and it's like, oh, the Bahamas going downhill because someone got murdered this in this specific way. Where in New York, it can happen 80 times, and they're just like, yeah, just another.
I think another thing to take into consideration possibly is the Bahamas has a population of 400,000, but how many people are actually there? That percentage drops if you start to count how many people are actually there on top of their population, right? So
Ooh,
when you think about it, we're not counting everybody that's coming in every single day and nothing's happening to them. We're just counting Bahamian locals.
yeah.
Not considering that there's probably millions of people on the islands a day.
Absolutely.
And that percentage drops if you look at crime in comparison to who's actually present.
Fantastic observation right there. The thing is, I think a lot of Americans, when they're planning vacations and trips, the first thing they go to is crime. And this is actually eye-opening as well, from what you just said. And there's millions of people going of one person rather than the 80 that it's happening to in New York, and it looks like on such a bigger scale. Just like with Mexico, people say all the time with Cancun, Mexico, it's dangerous. Cancun, Mexico is not dangerous. I've been to Cancun, Mexico a ton of times. Nothing has ever happened. But if you leave the outskirts and you're going in where you shouldn't be going, that's like Vegas too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't want to call
You go
out
behind the strap.
I just, oh my god, I was just I'm not going to call out any places. Then he goes, go behind the strat. It's true, guys. So that was not a paid partnership. If you are staying at the strat, be careful. What is it called? Naked City back there, right? I think it's Naked City. There's where a lot of prostitution and drugs are happening, but that's all over our city, in our tunnels. I mean, just everywhere in every major city. The difference. So tell me the difference between the Bahamas and not just Las Vegas here in America. In the people. Tell me about the people. And don't be nice. Don't be nice to us. Don't be nice.
In the Bahamas, it's definitely a warrior's mentality with how we maneuver, with just anything that we're passionate about. You look at Jazz Chisholm, that plays for the New York Yankees right now, Klay Thompson, Buddy Hield. There's a lot of names that you could go down the list, and that's just in athletics.
Klay Thompson is Bahamian?
Yes. I actually know his father, Marcus Wheat Thompson, first Bahamian drafted number 1 overall in the draft, played with Magic Johnson, Showtime Lakers.
Oh, wow.
DeAndre Ayton almost played in the junior national team with him when I was 15.
He's Bahamian too?
Former number 1 overall pick as well.
Oh, wow.
They're all Bahamian. So we have a lot of Bahamians doing great things, and if we go back further down in the decades, we look at Sidney Boyd here. You know, our bridge that heads over to Atlantis.
Yes, you told me that. That's
yes,
very
so
cool.
the Bahamian way of life and just the Bahamian mystique is fighting to make a name for ourselves in this world. Yes, we're a small country of only 400,000 people. Yes, we are small in as far as geographical locationing with our island size, things of that nature. But we come to make a mark in this world in a bunch of different ways. Me, I haven't seen a male Bahamian supermodel yet. I don't think I've seen a female Bahamian supermodel yet. So
Before, I'm so sorry to cut you off, but before he goes any further with that, I would just like to say, now, that actually made me think here, Tori. So I met Torres, and I'll let him tell the story a while back. And as you're talking, I'm thinking, well, that kind of explains it. There is so much passion inside this young man. If you notice, and if you guys follow me, and all of you people that are logging in to watch the show, if you notice my Instagram is completely flooded at all times of Torres. Because the last 5 people I've introduced you to, do they not only say the same thing? Oh, yeah, I know him from your Instagram. Not only, Torres is just not my favorite. I mean, not that you're not my favorite, but it's not because he's my favorite person why he's all over my Instagram. He's one of the higher sought-after models here in Las Vegas, and reason being, probably one of the hardest working guys here in Las Vegas. You tell Torres to be someplace, he's going to be there. I tell everyone, hey, you guys want extra press? Hop on my Instagram. Every day that goes by, it's multiple times a day that he's posting some of his photos, or some for a recent photo shoot, marketing himself, putting himself out there, meeting people. Every time I invite him to a red carpet event, anytime I invite him someplace, he's ready to market. He's ready to go. When I gave him the opportunity to come to New York, he did everything he could to get himself to New York. And you really are no joke. Like, you really are no joke. You set your mind to something, and you go and you do it. And you guys should know, especially Chanel and I have been working together for a really long time. I choose to surround myself with people that are go-getters. I only surround myself with people that are moving up and doing great things in life. Or if I can help someone do that as well. And you're one of those people. I love that about you. And I love that you don't give up. I've watched you so many times since I know you. And he laughs because there's some funny times of him not giving up. But go on. There aren't that many. There's 0 supermodels then, you're saying?
Not to my knowledge.
So this is the goal.
Yes, this is the goal.
This is the goal. And then tell me where acting falls in this for you as well.
I have to actually give a lot of credit to this gentleman right here.
Sure.
He was both of you, but you were a big part. You gave me a phone call one day, kind of like my first runway class. Was like, hey, I think you should start coming to runway classes. And when we first
Let's back up and tell the whole story. So they know Taurus' whole story. Okay. So I don't even know when this was, but okay.
October.
So we link up in the old studio.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then what happens?
So found Dawn on Instagram in one of her many paid ads that she runs. And
paid ads, yes,
you know,
I do a lot of paid ads, guys.
Sent her a message, and I was thinking it's going to be, automated service or whatever, and it ended up being her. She sent me a picture of the business card to where the location would be. Came down, sat down, had a meeting, and I'm not the man that sitting here today. I wasn't that back then. Was kind of scruffy, wasn't really taking care. I hadn't had a haircut in a couple of months, so it's like I asked God if modeling because I left the industry in 2019 at 20 years old, and I said if it's something that you're going to use me as a vessel to spread whatever you want me to spread to show that, hey, you're real to the world, bring it back to me. And then Dawn comes into my life, and then we have a conversation, and she asked me, well, what do you want to do in this industry? I said, well, I want to do print, commercial, be on billboards. Runway was never in the cards. I just didn't see myself doing it. And then did our first photo shoot, went very well, and then Thanksgiving came, and then the first week of December, I think it was December 2nd, she said, hey, honey, I think you should start coming to runway class. I was like,
I think his reaction was like, for what?
Yeah, I was like, for what?
Like, what are we doing that for? That's not what I'm doing.
And honestly, I don't think she may remember this, but at Rise Talent, we have a saying, do hard things. And I'm not sure what conversations she may have had previously before that, but her exact words was, honey, sometimes you have to do hard things. You have a great look. I think this would be something that you could do. And I started coming to the classes, and then I think my second class, this guy walks in because I'm there 3 hours early trying to learn how to walk because the walk was not okay.
That's another thing with Bahamian people. They're always early for everything. You guys are the best. You are always early for everything and so respectful. Yes, he was 3 hours early and he's still always 3 hours early. Yes, he was the first person here today. Yes, we all pulled up and Taurus is here. Okay.
So to really answer your question and not to just land the plane, I met this guy here. He walks in and we have a conversation. When I moved to America, I lived in Alabama, so my American home is in the South.
Sure.
That's where I consider my American home. And then Shamel is from New Orleans, Louisiana. So that's something we related on. And he was an actor, so he was the first person really outside of you explaining IMTA and things like that to me. And then to the new studio, now we're Rise Talent, and then he starts doing the acting classes. And you give me a phone call like, Shamel's doing classes, and I know y'all are super close, you should start coming. And I'm like, I don't really see myself acting. And then you said the same thing about runway, and I'm like, well, she got me. Let me start coming to acting classes. And then I started working with Shamel, and then now recently I'm in the advanced class for Texas Battle. So that's how acting came into the mix. And now I honestly have a passion for it. And honestly, acting as far as like TV, film wasn't something that I saw myself doing. But me and Shamel, something we also share is that we watch a lot of professional wrestling with WWE. Yeah. And that's acting in itself. It's sports entertainment. So that's something that I've always been interested in doing as well at some point in my life. So why not get good at acting? Because that's technically what it is.
So all that's fake. The whole wrestling thing is fake.
Scripted.
Oh, did I just struck a chord?
Struck
they
a
both
nerve.
got defensive.
Okay.
Okay.
Struck a nerve.
Nope. I want to say, is this my camera?
Yes.
All right. I want to let everyone know this. Wrestling is scripted, just like reality TV is scripted, just like every movie you watch is scripted. So if the make or break for you is that it's not real, you should probably stop watching TV.
Thank you for
he got so passionate about his wrestling. Hold up, where's my camera? I need to tell everyone. This is actually funny, guys, to our studio audience and everybody at home. I actually spent time with these two gentlemen when they were watching one of their real wrestling things together, and they were against each other. So you were rooting for who?
The American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes.
The American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, and you were rooting for?
The Tribal Chief Roman Reigns.
Does one of them do something weird with the hand? Who was it?
It's
you.
Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
That was yours. Okay, so Roman Reigns. That day, who won?
The American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes.
And is that the champion? Am I saying that that's the champion?
He's been doing such a great job. Not really. Being champion since WrestleMania. It's such a great job
So
that
how
when
long
Roman.
do they keep that title for now?
It all depends on the storytelling. So it depends on what story they're trying to tell. So the running thought is that Cody Rhodes will face The Rock at WrestleMania next year here
The
in
Rock,
Vegas.
Rock.
Yeah,
Our
Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Dwayne.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Next year at WrestleMania here in Vegas. So that's the running.
Than anybody, but how old is The Rock?
I think he's in his 50s.
Yes, mid-50s.
And how old is this guy?
Cody is, I think,
late 30s.
30, 39.
Okay. And they're still going to be throwing each other around again.
Absolutely.
But like you guys said, this is all just really acting. They're not hurting each other
Yes.
for the most part. They're
So-
flinging each other around.
So one joke is, it's a joke, but it's true. You can't fake gravity, right? But you can be safe while allowing someone to maneuver through gravity.
Right.
Right. So that's what I was about to piggyback, and I was actually about to say that as well. All of the matches that you see are happening, they have been choreographed and practiced off camera before they're performed on national TV.
Really?
Yes. So they do their own stunts, like kind of like Jackie Chan.
Okay.
Yep.
That is very cool. I did not know that. I was
And
not aware
so
of that.
for someone like The Rock who isn't wrestling every week, he choreographs a lot longer. So if he knows he's wrestling April 19th and April 20th, then he's probably started practicing in February.
Wow. You guys know me so well, and I'm in my head I'm saying to myself, I have those blue mats in the studio. Why don't we have this class? Why do we not have a wrestling class? That is epic. Can you imagine?
I
Okay.
could imagine the pain
Yes.
of
A
people.
lot of trial and error would be happening.
Right, because you kind of do need to really learn how to throw someone around to
Yes.
that level and off of the thing.
You have to learn how to fall. You have to learn how to sell a punch, which is essentially make it look real, even though you might slightly be touched or not touched at all.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot that goes into it.
I do remember being young and going to Madison Square Garden, but I'm gonna age myself here, which is
You were
fine.
watching Ric Flair, weren't you?
And Dusty,
Ric Flair,
Dusty-
of course.
Dusty Rhodes.
I don't know who that is.
If you know Ric Flair, Dusty Rhodes was around the same
No,
time.
I'm more like Roddy Piper. Do you know who that is? Andre the Giant.
Yep.
Roddy Piper, Andre the Giant, Hulk
Had
Hogan.
a drinking problem.
Who had a drinking problem?
Andre the Giant.
He did?
He did.
He's no longer with us, huh?
He is no longer with us.
Who else was from back then?
American, no, what was his name? Not American.
Oh, I loved
Ultimate Warrior.
The Ultimate Warrior, but I love the bird. What was his name?
You're
the
talking
Crow?
about Randy Savage? Not Randy.
Not Randy. I love Randy Savage. He's dead too, right? Randy
Mhm.
Savage. He died in the ring, right?
No.
No, I
Did
think
Randy?
Owen Hart died in the ring.
Owen
Owen Hart.
Hart. I remember that. Yes, guys, we're gonna have to take a commercial break, but before we go on the commercial break, so a lot of these guys die doing this.
either die doing it or die from addictions they picked up from it.
From it, yes.
Because, I mean, like, that's one of the things I always say. A touring schedule is not for the weak at heart. Like, people judge certain artists like, oh, you could tell he's on drugs, this and that. And I'm sitting here like, if you had to perform 5 days a week in different cities and different climates, you're not normal, right? Like, we talk about it all the time. Actors aren't normal. If you're on set for 6 months and you got to be somebody else every day and snap back to yourself right after you're somebody else, it's not normal.
With that being said, after this commercial break, I need to come back and talk about that, because that in itself is just epically mind-blowing. Being that I'm not an actress, I could understand through you guys. When we come back, guys, we're going to talk about actors and why you guys are like so delulu. Okay, we'll be right back. Vegas Views, tune back in.
And welcome to the next exciting episode of
Arena War.
Fresh batch of institutionalized gladiators fighting for their freedom.
Ready, here we go.
You guys heard Perez?
Yes, smell that.
Get back!
Those on the line. The parole board has offered you a ticket out. Win Arena Wars, win your freedom. 7 arenas with 7 of the most vicious killers the world has seen in the last decade. You make it out alive, you get to go home.
Luke Bender.
You're an innocent man.
Innocent man can mean big ratings.
I'll be watching.
I think it's time to audition Mr. Bender.
No!
What was your last physical?
Cell block shower this morning. Oh, yeah.
You ready for this? Hoorah.
Impressive show. You're the new fan favorite.
Are you with me?
Cutie pie back for the kill.
If you want to live through this, we have to work together. I'm watching you.
Podcasts, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok Live are becoming the norm. Internet TV has now reached the highest demand in human history. Social media shows is now the new media of the century.
Welcome back, Vegas Views, Torres Ingram, and Shamel J. I am so excited to have these guys here with us today. Not only are we having talks about Bahamas and modeling and acting, and the greatest thing about Vegas Views is we are unscripted. We never know what's going to happen here. So being that these guys are great improvisers and you're going to have an awesome conversation with me, let's continue on. So I'll get back to you in just a second. Shamel J. Shamel is so close to my heart. Shamel has teamed up with me at Rise Talent. So any of you guys that know, there's our camera. The whole time I'm like, we're not on. Okay, we're on. Yeah. Shamel has teamed up with me and works with me at Rise Talent. He teaches acting there. He handles almost all of our communications, HR, pretty much everything that has to do with talent, booking, casting, anything that has to do with talking to people, because he's so good at that. So, Shamel, welcome to Vegas Views. Shamel, talk to me about your acting career. Let's start there. How did you get into acting? When did this start for you?
So what's funny is acting was always the second and final leg of my entertainment desires, right? So when I was 8 years old, I decided, like many black kids in New Orleans, that I wanted to be a rapper. And the goal was always, I'm going to make it in rapping.
Okay.
Then I'm going to get into acting.
Okay.
Then I'm going to go into wrestling for like 6 months. Then I'm going to go back to acting and finish out my career.
So let me ask you, the wrestling thing has been lifelong. This isn't just something as adults you fell into. You were a little boy wrestling. Okay, were you a wrestler when you were little? Like, were you fighting everybody?
Trampolines. So I had this friend. His name is Kendall. He's a country singer now.
Oh,
but
okay.
I had this friend in Prairie View, Louisiana, and we used to go on his trampoline and do wrestling moves completely unsafe. And we would just have fun. We watched Stone Cold, The Rock, Triple H, Attitude Era into the Ruthless Aggression Era. So that's when John Cena started to come around,
Sure.
Batista, Randy Orton. So that was my upbringing. I'm 7 years older than him, so I have a different generation of wrestling.
I watched the Attitude Era as well.
He watches it like we watch videos of Michael Jordan on YouTube. He didn't watch it live.
It wasn't like a real thing.
I was
for
like,
him.
I got introduced during the Ruthless Aggression Era.
So he's John Cena, Batista,
Randy Orton,
Randy Orton, CM Punk. That Eddie Guerrero was Attitude Era.
He was a tweener. He was in between.
I am just so glad that the world gets to see this too. The dynamic between these two gentlemen is absolutely incredible. I know Shamel on a very adult business, but he's my friend. We spend a lot of weekends together. He is my friend as well, so I see him in every light. And then I see Torres as a talent. He's also my friend. But watching them together, you see so much personality. Shamel is like the big brother in the mix. Torres is like the little brother in the mix. And Shamel will never let him be right. Torres is combative. Never, right? You cannot be right. He has to know more than you, be more than you, bigger, stronger than you. Yep.
I made a joke yesterday. Melvin is another talent at Rise.
I love Melvin. Hey, Melvin. Shout out to Melvin. Melvin
We're in a group chat, and Melvin put out a picture of a Nintendo 64. It was like, this is, Torres don't know nothing about this. So I made the joke, and I said, Torres came around when the PS2 got hot. And Torres was like, no, I came around when the Xbox got hot. So then I replied, and I was like, the Xbox came out after the PS2. And then I had to send a screenshot.
You did not know that. That's okay, sweetheart.
I started the PS3.
It's always the dynamic is always us saying, "Oh, Torres, I'm sorry," because Chanel really, I mean, Torres antagonizes him. He does. You nip and antagonize like a chihuahua at him, but he comes back so hard that Torres is always just like the little brother. Anyway, adorable dynamic. I'm so glad the world got to see it. It's not just me because it's so cute between you guys.
It's his fault.
It's always
my
Torres' fault. Torres is like the Alvin of Rise talent. I'm not, you know, Simon, Theodore, Alvin. It's Alvin is always Torres. He's in trouble for something,
That's me.
but he's so respectful and wonderful and lovely. But he's always into something. He's like that kid. Is your mom watching today?
She's at a hospital right now.
She is in the hospital.
No, my aunt's in the hospital right now.
I'm
Yeah,
so
but
sorry.
she'll be watched. She'll
be watching.
she'll
Shout
watch
out to Torres' mom. Because I don't know how you raised this young man. Shout out. He's so much fun and so respectful and so lovable. But thank you, because Torres is amazing. Okay, back to you, Chanel. Okay, so we're talking about your acting career. You're 8 years old. You're all about this. You're like, I want to wrestle. I'm going to be a rapper.
Yep.
Who were your music inspirations at 8?
At 8 years old, it was my cousin and Snoop. As I got older, my influences became Big Sean from Detroit and a little bit of Drake, but I didn't really become a Drake fan until I stopped rapping. So I admired Drake's ability to piece things together and like take a melodic / lyrical approach to things. I really became a Drake fan after I stopped rapping. But with that, because of that, I wound up moving to Atlanta after college to pursue rap, and then I got a job. And one thing I'm sure you've witnessed about me is, to my detriment, if I do something, I try to do my best at it.
To the fullest.
Which
Plus. Yes.
Which is bad for trying to transition into a new path.
Sure.
Because you want to do so good at this job that you start neglecting your dream, right?
Sure.
So eventually I stopped doing music, and I was fine where I stopped. It was 2017 was the last song I recorded, and then I went into doing YouTube videos. So I would do reaction videos, which helped me stay up on current music, but also helped me not go into that jaded, what they call old head mind state with music, where it's like, what's this new stuff on the like, because I transitioned with it, it was never like a cutoff point for me. Like, I still enjoy ingesting new music. After the pandemic, I did a few more YouTube videos, and then I just started playing video games. You know, pandemic stuff. You start binge watching TV, playing video games. You can't go nowhere. So then eventually me and my then girlfriend moved to Vegas, proposed to her when we got here. And one day I was playing Truth or Dare with somebody, and the dare was cry on command. And the person I dared was like, I don't know how to do that. And then, so after the Truth or Dare game was done, I looked up a video on how to cry on demand. It said, cry on demand in 10 easy steps. It did not work. It will not work.
For him.
For me.
For him.
For me.
It might work for you.
I gotta look that up.
But
you could do it. 100%.
Oh yeah, you could cry on demand without the video.
Oh yeah. Please.
So all the next related video was how to start an acting career with zero experience. Kiara, my wife, was in Seattle at the time, so I had nothing but a living room and a 75-inch TV. And I pressed play. And 3 hours later, I was still watching recommended videos on how to start an acting career.
Wow.
And in my head, I was like, this means something. And one of the things that each video said about starting an acting career was finding acting school, which is what I did. And that's where we met. And it's been the desire since. Do I still want to go into wrestling? Not really. My bones hurt. But I definitely refound my love for entertainment. I think one of the things that was interesting is the whole time from 8 to my age of 32 right now, entertainment has always been the goal, whether it had been music, whether it had been YouTube.
What do you think? Do you like performing, or what is it for you? Do you like performing? Do you like being someone else in the character? What is the spark for you? Because for me personally, you guys know this, I'm not an entertainer by any means. I can't get out of who I am. Like, I could never try to act like another character. That would be hard for me. and it seems effortless for you, especially. I've watched you in so many different characters. It's effortless. It's like, how does he do that? So, do you like that aspect of it?
I think more so than anything, I like seeing my finished product. Like, one thing a lot of people don't know about me is I used to make flyers in college. I loved seeing my flyers around campus more than I loved the process of making it. When I do reels or when I'm in movies, I love seeing the finished product more than I like being on set. One of the things I will say, because I have been in the workforce, I'm still technically in the traditional workforce. Entertaining is a lot easier than people make it out to be. A lot of the people that make it hard have only done entertainment. It's almost like the person that came straight from college and you work at a tech company.
Guys, I want you to hear this real quick. This is resonating with me. Chanel, tell this camera again. So people that are in the workforce working, tell them this. Your feeling toward it is entertainment is easier than that?
Yeah. So what I'll say is this. I'm not going to say entertainment is easy, but a lot of people make it harder than it actually is. For example, when we were on Easy's Waltz, right?
Easy's Waltz, a movie that they did with Al Pacino and Vince Vaughn that should be coming out soon.
Yeah. People are on set 15 hours and like,
sure.
Oh my God, this is hard. We're waiting. Yeah. You're waiting, and you're having quiet conversation at a table, or you're walking. Versus, I had 4 meetings today with 3 directors.
Yeah.
Who,
and what time is it? It's early.
It's noon. So from 9 a.m. to 12 noon, I've talked to 4 directors today.
Yeah.
These people make $600,000 to $1 million a year, but these people make multi-million-dollar decisions, and I have to have input on something that would make a multi-million-dollar profit.
Sure.
And that is like continuous work, right?
Yeah.
Continuous typing, continuous thought process. Whereas like acting is, I have feelings. Like get in that.
I've never looked at it like this before. Chanel, this is eye-opening for me because from my standpoint, the acting is so hard. The work part's like easy. The booking, the prepping, the teaching, all that stuff, that's easy. But to actually get out there in front of the camera and actually be able to become another character is the challenging part for me. And I think most people that are looking to do this, I think, in my opinion, maybe because it's my thought, would be the scarier or the more worky part, like
And I by no means, once again, I'm not saying acting is easy. I just think coming from my background in traditional work,
sure,
other things have stressed me out more.
Let's talk real quick, Chanel, about you and characters. So, what does it look like for you? And I guess we're talking more so to the newer actor, people that are brand new to this business. And if you're brand new, guys, you want to hear this. You get a script.
Mm-hmm.
The script is you're so-and-so that acts like so-and-so, that comes from so-and-so, that looks like so-and-so. You look at the script, what do you do?
The first thing I always recommend, and it was very hard for me as a black man because a lot of scripts are written for white people. The first thing I recommend doing is the look like so-and-so part. Get that out of your head.
Okay.
You look like you.
Okay.
The character looks like you. Because a lot of the times we'll read a script and it's like, that's not me. Then we start trying to imagine who it is. And now we're having an out-of-body experience with the character.
Gotcha.
Where you want to be the character, right?
Okay.
The second thing is make that character real for you. So.
Okay. How do they do that?
I think different people have different methods. Some people like to live their life as the character. I think that's gonna lead to a lot of therapy.
Yeah.
But my biggest thing is, I think one of the things that helped me out a lot is being a musician. I wrote my music.
Sure.
My ability to create scenarios that I believe is there.
Okay.
So like I create the entire backstory. I create what if I have kids, what do they look like?
Sure.
If I have a son, what does he look like? What's his name? When did he first start walking? Like I'm creating all of this right now, right? If I have a brother that I'm arguing with and he brings up our dad died, my dad never died in real life, but I know what death feels like,
Sure.
or I create that scenario, and I believe that. One of the biggest things I say is you have to believe the character you're playing, not pretend to be someone.
Ooh, I love this. Chanel, tell them again. That is really great right there.
You have to believe that character is you. You are that character. You're not pretending to be someone. You are that person until the director calls cut, or however your process is. If you have to stay in character until the end of the workday or until the end of the process, that's for you. For me, it's until the director calls cut, and then come back in. You know?
So when the director calls cut for you and you're on set, Chanel comes right back.
Mm-hmm.
And then let's say Chris is your character. You're back in, Chris is there. This is the tricky part for me, what I can't wrap my mind around. Let's say Chris is violent, or Chris is nothing like you. You're a wonderful, kind, sweet, gentle person. Let's say Chris doesn't have those characteristics. To flip in and out, how confusing is that on your brain and on your emotions?
I think for me, what I always do is I read before action. So I'm not Chris at action. I'm Chris before action.
So you're getting your head in the game.
So it's like whatever Chris is mad about. Like, let's say you said, "Oh, you a son of a whatever," right? In my head, what led to that?
Okay.
Remember that. Don't pretend that this led. Remember how you felt when that happened.
Sure.
Which is why I say actors are crazy, because we remember things that never happened.
Yes.
But you putting yourself in that place before action versus trying to snap into it at action.
Okay.
One thing somebody told me before, and it's always true, is we never, something always happened before. Before we turned this camera on, we were off camera talking.
I heard this once, but Frank Perillo had said that to me once. Was it Frank Perillo had once said that to me? There was a story going, because I had this kind of conversation with him, and he said the story was going on here before this was even going on here. You have to hold on to this. And I always thought about it like that. When a movie starts, does the actor have that whole before? And I guess they do.
Yep. You remember the movie Friday?
Yes.
You remember Felicia, right?
Felicia, yeah, of course.
She wrote an entire backstory for how she grew up to play that character when she got on drugs and everything.
I am not surprised. She is such an amazing character. That character's like, everyone knows that character. That is absolutely insane. I love that.
Yep. They said it was like 6 pages long of backstory that they never said in the movie, never hit the screen. There was never dialogue about it. But for her to get into character, she had to create that character's entire life. Because in fairness, as that character, you'll remember that, right?
Right.
I'll remember when my dad walked out on me. My dad never walked out on me, but I'll remember that if I'm a character whose dad walked out on them. I'll remember when I took a trip to London if I'm playing a privileged kid, right?
So let me ask you, where are you pulling these different emotions from if you've never had the experience? So for instance, your dad never walked out on you. You don't know what that feels like, but I'm sure you know what abandonment feels like somewhere in life. So you take the abandonment card and you play that.
Yep, you take the abandonment card, you play that. I think one of the things that I am thankful that I am able to do is I have always been able to become someone else. I think a large part of that in the, I think, I wouldn't even say the minority community, I'd say the underprivileged community, right? So that can be white people too. That can be anybody who isn't above a certain social or economic status, right? You have to change who you are in different scenarios. And you and a few people actually just had a conversation about that,
Yes,
where I just showed you a scene where me and Leo, someone you know, were playing people that was not who I naturally am.
Sure.
Not who he naturally is. I'm calling him and everything like that. But you pull that because you are so used to becoming someone else depending on the situation. So I think I'm fortunate to have that. Some people don't have that and have to learn how to do that. And then once again, we go back to therapy, right? And it might not necessarily be the best thing. One of the things I'm uncovering in life right now is there's a lot of trauma that is normalized in underprivileged communities. So whether you lived in a trailer park, whether you lived in the hood, whether you lived in a favela, there's certain things that are normal, right? There's certain things that are normal to you growing up in New York, where if you talk to somebody that grew up in Rochester or somebody that grew up in Hershey, Pennsylvania, they'd be like, what?
Very different, yeah.
So, but to you, it's not a bad thing, but when you get taken out of that situation and you look, it's like, wait, I shouldn't have been experiencing that. One joke I have is about the black experience or the black culture, right? A lot of the times the black culture is associated with poverty, inner city, right? 14% of the black community live below the poverty line. The rest of them live in the suburbs.
Sure.
You see clusters in urban areas.
Sure.
Majority of people have the suburban experience. And so when I realized that, I had to start thinking like, wait, I was 13 years old. People started shooting in the neighborhood. We ran for a block and laughed about it. That's not normal.
Yeah.
But to me, there was nothing wrong with it. I'm like, why are y'all tripping? It's like, it's gunshots. Like, I look at the neighborhood app and they're always like loud boom. And I'm like, go figure it out. Like, stop asking us about it. I'm not going outside. I'm asleep. So.
It's funny that you say that, because being from New York, and you guys know me really well, and you guys have both been to New York. You've been to New York with me twice. You've been to New York with me once. Nothing really surprises me. If there's something going down, there's something going on. I'm not fazed because I'm from New York too. So people don't understand the way you were raised. It's gunshots. It's like, oh, all right, like that's, again, what is it, 19 million people, nothing phases us. So I understand completely, but I do think it's also, I think you're right. I think the traumas that we don't realize that are not normal. We should not have to see the things that we saw at 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old. We're adults now, and we're like, oh, to me and you, that's normal. Like, was it normal for you to see a dead body when you were a kid?
Very, very abnormal.
Abnormal. Yeah. You saw a dead body?
Yeah, I mean, I think I've been to more funerals than most people, let alone people my age.
Yeah, I agree. Me too.
Like,
I've been to more funerals than weddings.
I have 4 siblings tattooed on me right now. Only one of them's older. Like, so I look at stuff like that and it's like, I normalized it until I realized, like, wait, this is not normal.
It's not okay.
It's not okay for me to be 32 years old and I have 3 siblings younger than me that are no longer with us. And 2 of them are not for health reasons. Like, that's...
I'm so sorry for your losses. And I can also understand, like I said, it is true. I've been to more funerals than I have weddings. And that's people's lives. And that's not like pity me, but I thought that was normal. So then when someone else comes up to me and says, oh, my friend died, I'm like, all right, like, I'm so sorry to hear that for you, and they're shattered. I should understand my hardness comes from because I've been put through it just like yourself. Yeah, so it is.
That's why I don't believe in grudges, because I'm just like, when you've been to as many funerals as I've been to, like, I personally don't. I think it takes more energy to hold that grudge than it just to just realize, like, hey, I can't maneuver around you like that.
Absolutely. It's how you move. That's how I go. Like I said, I surround myself with people that are in my realm of where I want to be and what I want to be doing with my life. And there are people that I do have to cut out. People laugh and say, she's got great scissor game. I have to cut out who I have to cut out. And that's only for my own protection. That is not to be manipulative or deceive anybody or anything like that. It's just for my own protection. But yeah, myself as well, I let that grudge go. I don't, because life is too short. And you're right, I've seen a lot of people go, and too soon, way too soon. So I feel the same way as you. I just won't have someone near me, but I don't hold grudges.
Real quick, one of the things I told Kiera, I said a lot of the times, I hate meme culture, right? So where there's a meme that's just black and white. If a person ain't doing this for you, why are they around? And it's like, I told Kiera one day, I said, some people are fun to go to the club with. And that's it.
Those are your club people.
Some people are fun to learn how to model with. And that's it.
Some people are cool to go to the pool with. And that's it.
Right. Like, so that's how I started looking at it. It's not necessarily compartmentalizing, but realizing that people can benefit your life on a branch versus pouring into the root.
Oh, I love that, Chanel.
Made it up just now.
No, you didn't. Bullshit. Did you make that up just now?
He definitely did.
I love that.
He definitely did.
Say it again.
people can benefit your life on a branch without necessarily having to pour into the root.
Oh, I love that. It sounds so therapeutic. I love that. That's really cool. Guys, we're going to take a 2-minute, and when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about acting, a little bit more about modeling. We're going to talk to you guys about how you guys can get in touch and start modeling, acting, television, commercial, film. I still got this thing about starting wrestling. I don't know. I'm like that, guys. We'll be right back. Vegas Views.
Now on digital and DVD. Space Wars: Quest for the Deep Star is an epic sci-fi adventure.
Do what needs to be done.
An edge of your seat wild ride.
We have company.
Tons of popcorn munching fun. 5 stars. A love letter to the sci-fi films of the 70s and 80s. With plenty of action and fun for all. You need to see it. You really do.
The captain just decided it's time to go.
I am ready for a sequel. Experience a bold new adventure. Space Wars: Quest for the Deep Star.
A good old adventure.
Now on digital and DVD. Now on digital and DVD. Space Wars: Quest for the Deep Star is an epic sci-fi adventure.
Do what needs to be done.
I'm so glad you guys tuned back in. Okay, we're back. So we were talking about a lot today. We'll cover it. We did the Bahamas. We did a little bit of crime. We did a lot of bit of modeling, a lot of bit of acting. We did some profound shit from Shamel. He came out with some real psychological. We tapped into the psychological game here too. A lot about acting, but I want to get serious for a quick second. Guys, again, you guys know when you log in Vegas Views, IMTA, the International Model and Talent Association. We are doing our annual trip to Los Angeles now. We're done with New York. New York did amazing. We are going to LA in January 6th to I think the 11th or the 12th. Again, models, actors, TV, commercial, film, dancers, singers, all of it. We are looking for you guys. Our ads are going out soon on Instagram, Facebook, and all our other medium platforms. Before the show is over, can we quickly have you tell this camera how these guys can get in touch with you directly if they need to talk to you? Tell that camera, please.
Well, you can follow me on Instagram at Torres Ingram. That's TORRESINGRAHAM. And my Facebook is the exact same thing.
And guys, be nice to Torres. Don't throw shade because he will throw it right back. I am not kidding. Don't throw shade.
No, he won't.
Our boy
We're
gets,
working on it.
We're working on it.
Our boy gets in trouble on the regular.
We're working on
Do
it.
not throw him shade. He will throw back. Shamel, how can these guys get in touch with you?
Hey everybody, you can get in touch with me by following me on Instagram at Shamel, 4, the word real. That's SHAMEL, 4, REAL.
Say it one more time so they can write that down.
Shamel for real. SHAMEL, 4, REAL.
Guys, if you don't follow me, just kidding. I know you did. No, I'm just kidding. If you are brand new and you don't follow me, Dawn Sullivan _ on Instagram. Dawn Sullivan _ on Instagram. Once you go onto Dawn Sullivan _ Instagram, there are a ton of links that are going to take you to our website, which is www.risetalentmanagement.com, which will then take you to Rise Talent Management group page on Facebook, which will then take you down a rabbit hole of everything about me. If you get down far enough, you will get to my bio, which is awesome, and you can read about what I've done in the business. I've been licensed for a really, really long time. I'm a great talent agent. I will love you if you love me. I will hate you if you hate me, but I'm not scared of the haters. Keep on. They get me monetized. Okay, so with that being said, and look out for my TikTok, guys. That's a new thing I'm working soon. But look out for my TikTok. Okay, so acting again. If I tell these guys, oh, come down to Rise Talent, take a class here, they take a class there, they're going to say, well, of course, because she's studio owner, also partial owner with me, and talent as well. What would you tell these guys if you're brand new and they're even thinking about getting started someplace? Where do they start? What do they need to do first or second, in your opinion? So go for it. Tell these guys.
Well, like she just said, owner, talent, partial owner. So biased opinion, but Rise Talent is the best place in Las Vegas, Nevada.
You don't have to say that. The part where you told me that I sucked earlier before we started, I'm just kidding. He never said that. That's a joke. I do that to people.
He does. She does it to me all the time. But no, in all seriousness, Rise Talent is the best place. I had shopped around at a couple other places before I came to Rise Talent and met Dawn, and it was literally I saw God moving in that place and with what she's doing. And where could you find New York level knowledge and things of that nature here in Las Vegas? So you're getting the best of the best as far as entertainment, because New York City is the mecca of everything entertainment.
Can you quickly, I'm sorry to cut you off, can you quickly tell them about a little bit about your experience, because I think Maria's going to put in some of your runway stuff into this, into the credits. Can you tell them a little bit about your experience in New York City?
New York City.
Because it was fun watching you in New York.
I'll start with this, and I'll probably end with this as well. So you may hear me say this twice. The International Modeling and Talent Association is as advertised. It is the experience of a lifetime. I went there with a goal. I wasn't there for glitz and glamour. I did have a bit of an ego goal of male model of the year.
You also had glitz and glamour.
I was just going to say, we're going to talk about the eyeshadow. Oh my God.
So I had a set goal. I wanted to go there. I wanted to represent myself, represent Dawn and Rise, represent Shamel, who's been a mentor and a big brother to me, represent my country and represent myself, and be able to put myself on the map for not just New York City but the world. And I was successful in doing that. So if you come do hard things, you come and put in the work. I would say come 3 hours early, because I think Dawn might start kicking people out because you're too early. I think that was just a me thing, so I'm able to do that. But come put in the work, do the hard stuff, put in the extra work. If you truly want to make it in this business, the first place, the best place, and might be the last place you need to go before you take that quantum leap is IMTA.
Quick question for you. So, you're going to be leaving me soon. Aww. Oh my God, he smiled. He's like, yes, I am. Okay, so most likely Torres is going to be leaving me pretty soon, and he's probably going to move on, maybe to another state, New York, or someplace else. Tell me what that feels like, and tell me what it may feel like when you're out doing your thing and you look back for new people. What is the biggest message to them?
So to your first, that was a bit of a loaded question. To the first question, I say a job well done. I know I put in the work.
Yes, you did.
As my generation, Gen Z says, they left no crumbs, even though I don't say that. Yeah. But I went,
ate and left no crumbs.
Yeah, ate and left no crumbs. See, I don't even know how to say it right because I don't say it. But
you just said it.
I went there with a mission, and the mission was accomplished. The place that I'm probably going, which would be New York City, and who I'll be working with, was actually in my top 5 before I went. So they were on my mind before I was on theirs.
Did you manifest it a little, you think?
Absolutely, 1000%. It was a lot of prayer that went into it. And I said, one of these top 5, I don't need all of them to take a shot at me. I just need one. Yeah. And the one that did. And
are you going to be sad to leave us?
Absolutely.
Start crying.
I'm dreading it. But to the last question that you asked, what would I say to the people that are trying to accomplish what I've been able to do? Believe in you. You know, believe in you. Believe in the people around you. Of course, Shamel and Dawn and all the other people that help Rise be Rise will still be here. I'll be there from afar. I'm going to be visiting every 5 seconds. She's going to tell me to save my money. But when they come to New York in summer of next year, I will be there to help out as well for IMTA New York. But continue to believe in you. Always bet on you. You could do it. The only person that can stop you is you. And have faith in God.
I love that. And have faith in God. Okay. Shamel, They want to get started. What's the first thing? You think they should take an improv class, an acting class, a singing class? Someone just doesn't know. They're like, I want to be a talent. I want to be like these guys. I want to get up and do something. What should they do?
I think the first thing you should do, where you are, whatever city you're in, is find an acting school and go audit a class. Go audit, try out, however you want to say it. Go check out a class, whatever class piques your interest the most, and then see if that's for you. It might not be. It very well could be. But then also be prepared to put effort into it. A lot of the times we want to walk into something and just be great at it when this is a field you haven't been in before. It's just like if you were to go get a traditional job. You got to learn how to do it. So be willing to put that work in. Be willing to put that work in outside of class. Be willing to put that work in when you're on vacation and you have free time. Things of that nature. The next thing I would say is learn the business. Oftentimes we get our heart set on the passion or the art. Learn the business as well. Anything you can learn to find out, hey, I don't have to make these mistakes that were made already. And then link up with a good acting coach. I would love for you to see me or see Texas or see Andrew or see, somebody that I've worked with or people that you would love to work with. But link up with an acting coach, someone that's going to give you honest feedback, critical feedback, not necessarily tear you down, but build you up and give you the tools to constantly improve. And when you're no longer improving with that acting coach, whether it be me, whether it be anybody else, find someone that can help you improve to the next level. Like eventually, Shamel isn't enough. You need Texas. Eventually, Texas isn't enough. You need Dawn. Eventually, Dawn isn't enough. You need so-and-so. Eventually, so-and-so isn't enough. And now you need a dialect coach, a coach that can get you to sound like you're from New York, even though you're from LA. Certain things that certain people can't teach you. You always have to build your tools to get better. You always have to refine.
Speaking of tools, Shamel, I get this a lot in this business. People call me and they're brand new, and I understand people are new and they don't know the ins and the outs of the business, but they go, I'm going to send you a picture, and then when can I get started? And they send me a selfie with the toilet in the background, hair not done, makeup not done, and they're like, that's my headshot. Now go give that to your producer and potentially get a job that's going to pay you $25,000 for 17 days.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell them about the materials that they truly actually need in this business to get started?
For acting, professional headshot, both theatrical and commercial, unless you don't want to do commercials, which I don't know why you wouldn't want to do commercials, but theatrical and commercial, you can Google or YouTube what the difference between these are. You also need an acting resume, which if you go on YouTube and search how to create an acting resume from scratch, a bunch of videos will come up. Take the one with the most views. It probably works. It works. And also, you need to make sure that you are findable, right? So I'm not necessarily saying go out and get your own IMDb account right now. But if you want to submit, you need an Actors Access. You need a casting network. You might need a Backstage, depending on if you like the work that comes up on there. And a lot of these websites do cost money, but they don't cost money to start. You can start an Actors Access without paying the $69 for the year. You can look on Backstage and see what's on there before you decide to pay the annual fee. You can look on casting networks and see what's there before you have to pay to create an account. Do all of that research. Find that stuff out, because if you're submitting to an agent or a manager or a casting director, the thing they want to know is that you've done this before. Even if you haven't, does it look like you've done this before? How much do I have to teach you? Because I don't got the time to do it. So you want to come prepared. And if you need a career coach, they're on YouTube too. You could. There's a lot of research to be done before you start reaching out for business support, because you don't want to burn those bridges.
Absolutely.
Dawn is nice. There's a lot of agencies and a lot of people where if they say no to you once, they won't talk to you again. So
I have people on, thank you. I have people on my media that got in touch with me. Hey, yo. And I delete you guys. So if you've never heard from me before, and there's a couple of times that you got into my Instagram to say that you're interested in something, hey, yo, or what up, let's make that dough. all of those things, I just delete you guys. The people that I do respond to, good morning, Dawn. How are you? I'm very interested in the ad that you just put out. Can you tell me a little bit more about it? That is somebody I want to get in touch with. That is somebody I want to speak to, because that person, I know I can hand them over to Chanel. Chanel can book that person. I can have Chanel get that person in with Texas, or Texas puts them in a movie, or whatever it might be. But if you're saying, hey, yo, what up, and you're treating me that way, you're going to treat people in my business that way, and then you can't be a part of what we're doing. Go find someone else that it's okay to talk to them that way. So when you get in touch with someone, the biggest thing is be appropriate, be nice, be friendly, okay? That's first. You need headshots. You need training. I have people that do headshots and then they say to me, when's my first gig? Take acting classes. Take modeling classes. You cannot be a high fashion runway model and not know how to walk. Okay? Not know how to read commercials. Guys, you have to, if this is something you want to do, you have to take the necessary steps for your success. I cannot walk into the ER right now and say, here to do surgery. My first time, just give me the knife. I know how the head works. Yeah.
I watch Grey's Anatomy.
I watched Grey's Anatomy 4 times. Okay, guys. So really, get the things that you need, or come to us, and we have an entire team at Rise Talent that'll help you get everything you need. If you don't know what you're doing at all, just make the phone call, send the email, but make it appropriate. Just call, be nice. We're here all the time. 3225 South Rainbow Boulevard, 89146, Suite 102. Ring the little doorbell to the right. I'm always watching through the camera. I will let you guys in and we'll have a conversation. Come see me in person. That's another thing. I have 195,000 followers, 10,000 people a night. Book me on this, book me on that, book me on this. I don't know you. I'm not booking you on anything. If I don't know you, the most you're getting out of me is some extra piece. That's it. Come into the studio, meet us, introduce yourself to us, and we'll work from there. Okay, a couple of things. I have a casting looking for black male, black female, 18 to 25 years old for a major motion picture. That is through a friend of mine. Major motion picture, black male, black female, 18 to 25. So you can go on to Dawn Sullivan _ or go to casting at risetalentmanagement.com. Casting at risetalentmanagement.com. There is a link if you go to Dawn Sullivan _ for that one. On the 7th, which is Saturday, we are doing a casting from 10 to 5 with Texas Battle. It is for the movie Abigail's Crumb Cake. Abigail Crumb Cake is the name of the movie. We're looking for children, all different ages, starting at 5, possibly who can sing and dance, and then up to adulthood into their 60s. So anywhere in that range, you are welcome to come and audition. We will have sides for you to audition. If you don't know what that means, we will have something for you to read when you get there. If you have a child, and you said, my child can sing and dance, but they sing and dance for you, but you put them in front of someone else and they go like this, bring them in, but don't bring them in the audition on the 7th. Get in touch with me, Dawn Sullivan _ We'll have a meeting before one-on-one. We do not want to scare children. We don't want children upset or feeling like they're being put on the spot. But if you do have an outgoing child that's been in the business, or you feel like will perform in front of other people, you can bring them as well. Dawn Sullivan _ Shamel J. I can't thank you enough for being a personal part of my life, being my friend, being my co-pilot in life, being my sometimes protector. Amazing in business. Don't know how I would do the trips without you. New York, just all of it. Thank you so much for everything you do. You are so appreciated and you are so important to me. I am sad to see you go. I am excited for you. I adore you. You will always be one in the books for me. The story of someone that didn't give up. And when they should have, had a couple of times where it was looking like you were going to give up and you didn't. And you stuck through it, and you are still moving and doing hard things, and you're kind. You're still kind to people. Don't lose that. And he always still says, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. He's so polite. Okay, thank you for being on the show today. Guys, if you want to get in touch with Torres, do so. You want to get in touch with Shamel, please do so. And have a wonderful Eid, and thank you to Maria. We love you, Maria.